The silent fall of Yaman, from international idol to a shadow of himself, Yaman was for a time the most recognizable face of Turkish television. With Daydreamer, he won over not only Turkey but also Latin America, Italy and Spain. His chemistry with Demet Özdemir didn't just seem like acting. For many, it felt like real love. It was a golden era where all eyes were on him. But after that peak came an unexpected decline. Can chose to leave Turkey, seeking artistic freedom in Europe, especially in Italy. What looked like a promising new chapter ended up isolating him. He went from being a media phenomenon to a commercial figure. His face appeared in fashion ads, but his acting projects crumbled. Sandokan never started filming, and Viola Come il Mare failed to maintain the audience's interest. Critics began pointing out the obvious. His acting skills were not evolving. The Turkish heartthrob label was no longer enough. And while in Italy he was limited to commercials and events, his old Turkish fans began to feel betrayed. And while in Italy he was limited to commercials and events, his old Turkish fans began to feel betrayed. The emotional and geographical distance weakened his bond with the public. On social media, Can increasingly shares memories of Daydreamer, scenes with Sanem, laughter, glances. Many believe he's the one who misses those days the most. Later relationships, like the high-profile one with Diletta Leotta, were seen as PR strategies rather than real emotional ties. The result is a lonely artist, trapped between a glorious past and an uncertain present. Today, audiences want more than beauty. They want depth, soul, truth, and the Can of today seems unable to provide it. In Turkey, his return feels more like a necessity than a true comeback. The industry is no longer waiting for him with open arms. The lesson is clear: fame without substance doesn't last. Can Yaman lived the dream of many but forgot the essentials: to build with roots. Now, only the stardust remains, slowly falling as his figure dissolves into nostalgia and silence. Demet Özdemir is without doubt one of those women who shine not only for their talent but for an inner strength that radiates beyond the screen. I've followed her from her early roles, but it was through the glances, gestures and silences shared with Can Yaman in Daydreamer that something deeper, more genuine was revealed. What I admire most isn't just her acting but her poise, remaining serene even when her personal life became public spectacle. Many have dared to judge her, reducing her story to mere romantic scandals. But I see a woman who has protected her essence in a harsh environment. Demet never needed scandals to stand out. Her career grew steadily through discipline and professionalism. While others chased rumors, she chose silence, the dignity of someone who doesn't need to respond to every attack because her worth lies in what she builds every day. Among her fans, there's a constant respect, affection, admiration. Many want her to be happy, far from those who only used her to boost their ego. And I fully share that view. The image of Demet crying in interviews or simply showing vulnerability speaks louder than 1,000 fake headlines. This isn't about making her a victim, but acknowledging that public figures also feel that behind every smile is an untold story, an effort to stay balanced while the world comments on your private life. It hurts to see how some try to pit her against Can Yaman like soap opera rivals. They were two people who shared something special and chose different paths. But I cannot accept the cruel narrative that makes her the villain. Why is it that when a woman chooses to walk away, protect herself, or prioritize her well-being, she's labeled cold, calculating, or accused of forgetting love? That's an unfair sexist view, reflecting social bias more than Demet's reality. She has moved forward. New projects, new energy, and above all, a maturity that shows. She doesn't need to cling to a past story to shine. In every public appearance, she exudes a calm that can't be faked. In every public appearance, she exudes a calm that can't be faked. That's the Demet I see, a free, brave woman who earned her place without destroying anyone, without betraying her principles. It also strikes me how some media obsess over her every move. Is it really necessary? Why not focus on her talent, her achievements, her growth? Instead of turning her into a character in an invented drama, we should celebrate her authenticity. To me, Demet represents a new generation of women unwilling to fit old molds. She doesn't ask for permission to be herself, nor does she need to justify her choices. And that unsettles many. But it is precisely that discomfort that sparks change. Seeing her so confident and focused today is an inspiration. Not because she's perfect, but because she's real. In a world where everything is scrutinized, Demet has kept a corner of privacy, a space just for herself. And that today is an act of courage. So beyond the dramas, the rumors, and the memories shared with Can, I choose to see her for what she truly is, a whole, talented, and deeply human woman. And that deserves above all respect. Beyond the criticism, it's also possible to see Demet as a woman who has remained faithful to herself and her principles without being swayed by the pressures of the entertainment world. Despite the constant attention she receives, Demet doesn't seem like the type of person who lets others' opinions influence her. In fan comments, some highlight Demet's authenticity, pointing out that while some might interpret her as naive or superficial, the truth is her ability to stand firm in her convictions is admirable. For many people, Demet represents a woman who fights for what she believes in, who doesn't allow herself to be manipulated by others' opinions, and who remains loyal to her own truth, even when that means making tough decisions.